Hello everyone, and let's talk about The House of Last Resort by Christopher Golden. Now, Christopher Golden does have other books out. This is not a debut by any means. He has All Hallows, Road of Bones, Red Hands, The Pandora Room, Aurora, I don't know how to say that one, just gonna pass that one, Dead Ringers, Snowblind, etc. This page is full of other works by Christopher Golden, excuse me. This takes place in Italy, specifically in Sicily. So you have this married couple. It alternates between their POVs. The perspectives are Tommy and Kate. They are married, and Kate gets this notification about this house that's for sale for like €5, basically really, really cheap. They have to live there for a certain amount of time, and they go. So they go to this house. Things start to happen basically from the start, where they start to think, are they seeing things? Are they hearing things? Is it just an old house settling? Or are they haunted? And things go from there. Turns out this house that they bought, now Tommy's family is from Sicily, and so he lives within a very short distance to go and be with his Nana and his Nano, I think is what they're called. So his grandma and grandpa. His grandparents had a falling out with Tommy's dad, and so he's trying to figure out what happened there, and try and bond. So, I mean, yeah, his family is happy that he is in Italy, but they are not happy with where he is living. Turns out this is called the House of Last Resort. That's the actual house that they bought. They find there's this little annex room that Kate stumbles upon where the door is locked, and then the next day it's unlocked, and so she thinks it just kind of stuck. You're starting off with an earthquake in here, so you do have some natural disasters. The earthquake pops up quite a bit in this book. So Kate thinks that the earthquake that they had kind of loosened things up with the door, and it was just stuck. What she originally thought was locked, turns out she thinks it was just stuck, and the earthquake loosened it up. So she goes into this, and it's like this, there's this desk and bed or something like that. And then there's a door, and you go through the door, and there's like this chapel type room. So she's trying to figure out what was going on. So they find out more information, and let's just say there's a church involved, priests involved, and exorcisms. Okay? And that's the history, and the rest you need to figure out. They do have a priest here. Religion is a big thing in this. As far as like the history of the house and the history of the town. There is a priest that they try to get some help at some point from, and the priest gives them, per their request, a tour of what's called the catacombs, so where a bunch of dead bodies are laid to rest. So that's what this is about. This was a new release. It was published in 2024. There is an audiobook available, which is 8 hours and 41 minutes on standard 1x speed. Your narrators are Marianne Young and Noah Michael Levine. Now, my issue, if this is bothering to you, there are quotation marks in this, but my problem with this is there's no indication with whose point of view you are following until you get so far into it. So you don't know whose perspective you're in. Now, the thing with the audiobook is you know whose perspective you're in because it goes from a masculine voice to a more feminine voice. And sometimes, like, for example, Noah Michael Levine will be reading from Tommy's perspective, but then when Kate says something, then the narrator for Kate, Marnie, I think I said Marianne, I think it's actually Marnie, will interject that one phrase that Kate says in this book, and then the rest it's by. So I didn't particularly care for the narration, but it helped me be able to know whose perspective we're following. Because I think if I just physically read it, I would have been confused. So that's my only real gripe with this book. So this does have LGBT rep. There are other houses along in this area that Kate and Tommy bought that are also part of that program where you buy it real cheap and you move there. They call them replants. I can't remember. There's a word they used, but you don't find out later, and I don't remember because it only comes up like 2 or 3 times. So a bunch of people, you have other people from America, people from the UK, who have implants, who have implanted from other areas of the world. There is one man in this who talks about his husband. And was there something else? That's the one that stands out to me the most. So he lives a couple of houses down or something like that. And he did buy one of the houses with his husband to live there for a certain amount of time. And they get a little closer to the point that I think they could be friends if you follow. If this were to have additional, I think it would be like they would have a friendship with this couple that's two men. So that's your LGBT rep in this. Now, as far as content and trigger warnings, you have exorcisms, you have possessions, you have religious trauma talked about, and body horror, blood and guts. That's pretty much it. So it does get a little gory. All right, and in case you're still on the fence, again, where religion is a big part, you do have some words that are used, sometimes religiously, sometimes not. So you have, for example, God coming up 26 times. How many times it was done religiously? Couldn't tell you. Sometimes it's religious, sometimes it's not. Shit comes up 26 times. Hell, 33. The name Jesus, 16. Again, sometimes religious, sometimes not. Fuck, 41. Damn, 6. The name Christ, 8. This one I believe was usually not religious. Might have been a time or two, but usually not religious. Bullshit, 6. Bastard, 4. Erection, once. Wise ass, once. Cunt, once. Ass, once. Dumbass, once. The phrase Christ's sake, once. Gods, once, but this one is used with the lowercase g, so it's more like mythological or type of other types of gods and goddesses, not your usual Christian or Catholicism type reference. The phrase goddammit, or it's either goddammit or goddamned, 5 times. The word Lord once, bitch once, and asshole once. You do have a sex scene in this, but it is more of a fade to black, so you don't have any open door sex in this. So nothing sexually explicit, but again, a lot of religious talk, religious trauma, and questioning religion and things like that. So especially where exorcism plays a part as far as religion, sometimes it's referenced to Christianity, but usually Catholicism, because I think it's the Catholics that did the exorcisms. But especially in this, I think the Catholicism is the prevalence in this area in Sicily, Italy, and then they're the ones that did the exorcisms. So yeah, so that's this book. Let me know, have you read The House of Last Resort? Is this even on your radar? Or especially where there's a lot of religious trauma and religious talk in this, is this more of giving it a pass for you? Have you read other books by Christopher Golden? And if you have, let me know what you have read and what you thought of the writing. Talk to me in the comment section below, and until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I will talk to you later.